Hello everyone, welcome to the video. Today I'm going to show you how to make a digital clock with the Arduino. And so in this video I'm going to be building a digital clock where we print out the time on the LCD display, and it's just going to be constantly keeping up the current time without the use of the RTC module. And so basically here is the circuit that we're going to be setting up. And as you can see, it's just setting up the LCD display, hooking it up. And so the first pin down here, G and D, is connected to the ground rail on the breadboard. And then the VCC pin is connected to the positive rail on the breadboard. And the VO pin is connected to the middle pin of the potentiometer. This pin is so that we can brighten and dim down the text on the LCD display if you want. So that's what this potentiometer is for. And then we connect one side of the potentiometer to the ground rail on the Arduino, on the breadboard. And then the other side of the potentiometer is connected to the positive rail on the breadboard. So then we have the RS pin, and this pin is going to be going to pin 12 on the Arduino. And then we have the RW pin, and that's going to be connected to the ground rail on the breadboard. Then we have the E pin. That pin is going to be connected to pin 11. So then we go ahead and we skip 4 pins. So we go to D4, and then that pin is going to be connected to pin 5 on the Arduino. Then D5 is going to be connected to digital pin 4 on the Arduino. Then D6 is going to be connected to digital pin 3 on the Arduino. And then D7 is going to be connected to digital pin 2 on the Arduino. Then the next pin is the anode side of the backlight LED of the LCD display, and this is going to be connected to a 330 ohm resistor. This resistor can be anywhere between 200 ohms up to 470 ohms. Just pick any ohms between there. And then the other side of this 330 ohm resistor is going to be connected to the ground rail on the breadboard. And then the last pin, which is LED cathode, this is going to be connected to the ground rail on the Arduino. So then all we have to do is connect the ground rail of the breadboard to G and D on the Arduino, and then we connect the positive rail of the breadboard to positive 5V on the Arduino. And so basically that's the circuit. That's all we need. We don't need an RTC module or anything like that. The Arduino is going to be able to keep up the time by itself. And so let's go ahead and look at the code. Okay, so now here's the code for the project. And so the first thing we do is we include our library, which is the liquid crystal library. This is for the LCD display, so we can use it. And you don't have to install this. This comes pre-installed when you download the Arduino IDE. And so then we have a couple of variables here. This is basically the time. So basically, when you start the Arduino, you want to give it the time that it is currently, because it doesn't know the time. It doesn't know what time it is. So you have to give it the time. And once you give it, it's able to keep up with that time. And so basically, I said the hours is 24. This is the military time, so 24, and then I made minutes 59, and then seconds just 0. And so basically this is just a demonstration to make sure to see all the numbers in a minute, to see all the numbers change. So we're going to be able to see this when the seconds reaches to 59, it's going to switch all these. The minutes are going to become 0, the hour is going to become 1. We want to see that change so we know that all the hours and the minutes and the seconds are all working properly. So that's why I put these particular values in there. But anyways, so now we have unsigned long last millis. This is going to just hold the value of the last time we have incremented. We have counted as seconds. You're going to see more about this on what this variable is for, but it needs to be an unsigned long because we are using the millis function in this video, and the value that the millis function gives us is an unsigned long value. So anything that you're going to store the millis data inside of, it needs to be an unsigned long variable. So then we have external volatile unsigned long variable, and you may not understand what this is. It's basically we are just defining the variable that the millis function uses. So basically, this is the value that the millis function puts the milliseconds into. Okay, so sometimes when we go down here, as you can see, we can go ahead and print millis. Okay, and that will give us the value of how many milliseconds have passed. You can also print this variable out as well, and it will give you the same thing, because this is the value. This is the variable that the millis function stores the milliseconds inside of. And so we're just getting that variable so that we can reset the millis function, because we don't want the millis function to overflow, because that may confuse the program over time. I think that's somewhere around, it will overflow like in around 49 days or something like that. So you could be running, you're definitely going to run a clock over 49 days. So we want to make sure every day we reset it back. And the only way to reset it back is to make this equal to 0 again. And that's resetting the millis function back. So that's why we are defining this variable, so that we can reset the millis function. And so then we go ahead, and this is just for the LCD display. We have constant. These are, we're just putting all of our pin numbers that we are using with the LCD display into variables. I'm not going in very detail with all this. I have a video down in the description of me going in more depth about the LCD display if you want to look at it. But anyways, so yeah, we just define all of the pin numbers, and then we give all those pin numbers to the liquid crystal library to go ahead and start setting up the LCD display. So then we have the void setup, and all you're going to do is do LCD.begin. This is going to tell the liquid crystal library to go ahead, set up all the pins, and then we have 16/2. This is just saying what type of LCD display we have. It has 16 columns and 2 rows. So that's all we give it, so it knows how big the LCD display is. So then we go ahead and set up the serial monitor. This is not recommended. Sometimes I always just put in the serial monitor when I'm building the code. So if there's any issues, I just use the serial monitor. So I kind of just am used to just define the serial monitor, but there's really no use to have it. So then we go ahead into the void loop, and we go ahead and say if millis minus last millis is greater or equal to 1000, then come into this if statement. And so basically we're saying here is if millis minus last millis, because whatever last time we have been into the millis function, we want to take that away. Okay, so when the last time we were into this if statement, that is being held in the last millis function variable. Okay, so we want to take that away from millis. So what's ever left over is how long we have been out of this if statement. And if that's over 1000 milliseconds, which is 1 second, then we want to come back in here and go ahead and add a second into the second variable. Okay, so in that case, if that is the case, then we'll come into the if statement and we'll just print out the millis right here. This is just, I just did this just because of when I was setting up this code, but this is not really recommended. You don't have to do this. It's just, I did that and I did take it out. But anyways, so then we come down here, and I think I did it in one space. Alrighty. So then we come down here and say if seconds equals 59. So basically, if seconds equals 59, then we want to go ahead and not just add to seconds. We want to go ahead and add to the minute, because now seconds is 60 seconds, so that's a minute, and so we want to go ahead and add to the minute, not the second. So what we'll do is say if, and so if this is the case, then we come in here and make second 0, because since now we are adding a minute, because we have reached 60 seconds, we want to go ahead and take away all the seconds, because now we're at 0 seconds again. But if this is not the case, then we come down here into this else statement right here, and we just increment a second. So we just add 1 second, okay? But if that's the case, then we want to go ahead and take away, and then we just want to make seconds equal to 0, and we want to go ahead and add 1 to the minute variable. So we say if minute equals 59. So basically, if we are at 60 minutes, then we want to go ahead and add to the hour, okay? And then we come in here and say minute equals 0, because now we are at 0 minutes because we added an hour to the hour variable. And as you can see down here, also the else statement, what we do with the minute is if this is not true, if we are not at 59, if it does not equal to 59, then we go ahead and we just increment minute, okay? And so then we go in here and we're gonna come back up into this statement, and we're gonna say if hour equals 24. So if it's basically midnight, and now we are wanting to add another hour, and we want to increment hour again, but we're at 40 and 24. We can't just keep on going to 25, that's not in military time. 24 is the highest number. We got to go back to 1, which is 1 o'clock in the morning. And so we want, if this is true, then we'll come in here and make hour to 1, because after 24 is 1. That's just basically starting all over. So we just make hour equal to 1, and then we go ahead and do interrupts. This is basically all this right here. It's just basically we start in the millis function. So basically, the millis function is going to be 0 once we do this. So every single day at 1 o'clock is going to go ahead and set up the millis function to 0, so that it never can go up to a very large number and then suddenly overflow one day. So we are managing the millis function so we don't have any issues with it in the future in like 49 days or something like that. So yeah, and so then we also make last millis equal to 0 as well, because we were in here, since we set the millis function to 0, last time we were in here was also 0 milliseconds as well, because we just set it to 0 milliseconds. Okay, and so then if hours does not equal to 24, that means it's less than 24, and so we're going to go ahead and increment hours. And so then we come down here and we go ahead and print this information out on the LCD display. So first we say clear LCD display. This is basically clearing all the old information off based on the old time that we had, and now I'll put on the new time. Okay, so then we do lcd.print owl. So first we're printing the owl, and then we do lcd.print colon. Okay, so we have the owl, then we have the colon. Then we do lcd.print minute. So we have the owl colon minute. Then we print the colon again. So we have owl minute colon, and then we have lcd.print second. Owl colon minute colon second. So we have everything there of the correct current time that is, and it's being printed on the LCD display. And so then we go ahead and make last millis equal to millis. So this is just basically telling us when was the last time we have been into this if statement. And so basically that is the code, and now we'll go ahead and look at our project. Okay, so now here is the project, and as you can see, the LCD display has a time on it, which has the hours, which is 24, the minutes, which is 59, and then seconds, which is 13. And so basically this is not the correct time, of course, but if you put it in the code, which I showed you, the correct hour and the correct minute and correct minutes, the Arduino will be able to keep up with the correct time. And basically this is the project. I think I will be making another video on how to improve this setup here, but for right now this is what we have. The Arduino is able to keep up with the time. And so now, as you can see, the Arduino now thinks it's 1 o'clock in the morning. And so basically that is the project. If you like this video, consider giving this video a like. Also comment down below if you have any questions, and consider subscribing if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all, have a great day. Bye.